Good morning, YouTubers. It's your boy Shade T Mac back with another tool review. This time we got the Tekton tool sets. We got a Tekton quarter drive set, and we got a Tekton 3/8 drive set. Uh, I had this one probably 2 years, maybe I think 3, and this one here 2 years, and they served me well. Uh, I had took them out one time and I put them in a rail, and I kind of had these boxes laying around. They some tough boxes. They went all out with these boxes. I don't know a tool company that makes a better box than Tekton. I'll see if I can back up and get it all in the screen. Yeah, I don't know a tool company that makes a better tool box than Tekton. You can't beat the boxes. I mean, they tough, they durable, they well organized, well thought out, well planned. I like that. And let's get right into it. This right here on this side here, we had the quarter drive, and see, I got the outdated version of the ratchet. It's cool though. I still use it. We'll get back in and get a close up. And what I want to talk to today on these tools here is I've said it before, now I say it again. This tool set, these tools in this set could very well be a rebranded Harbor Freight or some China made company or some Taiwanese company probably made them. They probably rebranded. It's probably Gear Wrench. It's probably Duralast. It's probably Harbor Freight. But my point is, and these some pretty good sockets. I use more than you can use a quarter wrench for, but I use these daily, and I've had zero complaints out of them. I heard people didn't like the fact that these wasn't fastened, which I do. I like. This is the metric side, as you can see, and I like them being not fastened because I can lay this down beside where I'm working at, and I can reach in here, and I can get access any tool I want, as far as metric. Now, the standard side is clamped in. I don't mind it because if I'm using these, I'm mostly working on a lawnmower or something yard equipment. It ain't many vehicles that still got standard, that you can use a standard socket for. And I like the fact that Tekton took this box and used every bit of the space, and you got the entire setup in one complete box. And I took it to another level, and I got me some Craftsman USA wrenches, standard and metric, which I don't need the standard, but I do use them on a battery cable every now and then. I use a 7/16 or half inch, but I got me from an 8 to a 10 in here, and I got from a quarter to a 3/8 in there, and just make this box a complete set. I can go to the junkyard, and I can utilize every tool in here without bringing extra tools other than a hammer or maybe a pry bar. But I got a screwdriver set. I got a bit to chuck in my quarter inch gun. I got and if I don't have my quarter inch gun, it's got this adapter. I can put it on the ratchet. I can put it on here. I mean, it's just so many options, man. One complete set goes all the way up to a 14, I think. Yeah, 14 millimeter, 9/16 in standard, all the way back down to a 5 millimeter, and it does have a 5.5. So everybody that doing interior work knows how important that is. But it's one complete set. You rarely get a long extension, a short extension. I mean, you usually get either either. You will mostly get that short one. But one complete set, man. This thing is for what I was gonna say about these sockets before I got distracted and excited. If this is a Harbor Freight or some cheap brand rebrand socket, this case makes these sockets good. It make it usable. When I say tools are good, that means usable. Because you don't have to have if you're not working on a fastener no bigger than 14, you ain't gotta have this. Maybe a longer quarter drive ratchet, maybe, but you ain't gotta have this. But I wished I'd have had the updated ratchet, because the updated ratchet is about a couple of inches longer than this one. I think this one is probably about 5 inches, judging by my fingers, about 5 inches. And this right here, my daughter got for me for, I think it was Christmas of about 2 years ago, a year ago, however. But it's got the updated ratchet, and Tekton came a long way on this ratchet. They went from just a rebranded Harbor Freight Cobalt, just maybe every one of your cheaper tool brand ratchets, to something of their own. I think it's something of their own, because I never seen this style of ratchet rebranded on any other tool. Which Duralast had a run where they had a ratchet similar to this, and this here ratchet here is that style come from Snap-on. Snap-on had that style where the bolts protrude back through the body. A lot of people don't like it because of repair issues, but this one right here, you just send it back to Tekton, you're alright. But like I said, this here goes from the 8 mil all the way up into the 19 mil. You see it doesn't have any skips. Same as your standard. It goes from a 5/16 to a 3/4 with no skips. And I think yeah, and then again, you got the repeat of your extensions. You got a swivel, which you got a swivel in both of them. And there was no adapter or nut driver in here. With, that's 3/8 bolt. A nut driver ain't gonna do you much good on that 3/8 bolt. Most of the time, you got to use this. The bolts is a little bit more than what you want to put on that ratchet. So, like I said, I can't say enough about those cases. I used to, and they're not very big. I think the measurements on this is I want to say 8 by 12. Don't quote me on that, because I could be wrong. But 8 by 12, and it's a funky little ratchet. I don't like it particularly, but it's not bad. It haven't broke, and I think it's 92. It's a lot like the Cobalt, a lot like the Harbor Freight, just got the Tekton name on it. And but what I say, this box is so valuable to these tools, because the tools are not garbage. Don't get me wrong, they're not garbage, but this is the market for these tools, is this case for me, because it's so convenient. Like I said, turn around here and get my tool bag. See if I can perform this one-handed task again. Open it up. Get it open. And then this bag here, we'll get a measurement. So I know how big the bag is, but I want to let y'all know how big the bag is. I don't know why I went all the way over there for a tape when I got one in the box. Here we go. See, it's 12. Well, actually 7. So we'll see how tall, what the height is on it. Close it up. I think the height is like 2.5 inches. But I want to just make sure. It's 2.5 inches. But if you want to call it 2 5/8, we'll call it that. But, or 2 9/16. We'll call it that. But for just a quickie, 2.5 inches. And this is an arsenal of tools, man. I mean, this you ain't got no excuse. You go to junkyard and you just do what you want to do with it, man. And whatever you want to take off, some stuff you didn't plan to take off, you can tackle it. You can go all the way up to that 3/4. And that's basically everything underneath the engine bay. But just say if you not sure and you are up in town and you think about a part that you want to take off and you say, oh, I just might run by the junkyard right quick. This right here is what sells it for me. This bag, not a very big bag. Forgot to measure it. We're gonna measure it. This bag is 14. No. The bag is just a little bit bigger than the box. The box is itself. We'll call it 13 just to be exact. 13 by 8. And the height of this bag is approximately 10 inches. Yeah. So you got this bag and you want to say, I just want to go to junkyard and pull some of these 3/8 stubby over here. And we ain't going to put the battery on. We just going to grab it. Most of the times I go to junkyard, I use this and I just put me a 3/8 chuck into this chuck adapter, and I already got the quarter in the other bag. But just for video sakes, we're gonna get what we supposed to have. Turn it that way. You got that in there, and say, oh, I might need a hammer. Let's grab a hammer. Put a hammer in there. And you say, got that. And I always use, like, if I'm going to junkyard, I always carry one of these with me. This here is a 6-in-1, and it fits the radiator hoses. It fits flat Phillips, you know that. And like I said, it's got the quarter. It can fit the quarter or the 5/16 radiator hose. I want to throw that in there. Go to junkyard. And then let's do something else. Let's say we might need a pry bar. Let's see. You gotta draw a pry bar right here. And like I say, you get just I don't know, probably a foot pry bar. Throw it over in there. So well, hell, I might need a pair of pliers. Let's go grab a pair of pliers. We get the Dole brand from Harbor Freight. Take these $8. We lose them. We ain't that mad. I know I won't lose my impacts. I know that, cause they will be scrapped to me. And these boxes, I won't lose them. I may lose the content out of them, but I won't lose that box. But if I sack this up and don't forget this pliers, or either forget this screwdriver, the big stuff on it, I'm not gonna forget. But here we go. If I could do it with one hand, sit down, and it can almost zip. But this is a small bag. This ain't just your average size tool bag. This is a small tool bag. Like I said, you saw the dimensions. It was 12 by 8, 9. It was 10 inches high. So it ain't a very big bag, but look at the tools you got in there. Now we just move the bag. Let's see. Take the bag in. Set it aside. And then we just lay out what we had in it. That way, move this stuff here. We just lay out what we had in it. And we study and unpack it. Those are things that we had in that bag. And look how small that bag is. And normally, myself, if I'm working on something, I just don't. I don't run to the junkyard spur of the moment. My junkyard outings are planned and premeditated. So when I do go to the junkyard, it's either or. It's never both. And most of the time, if we're going to the junkyard, I just take this 3/8 because we're gonna go to combat. We don't know that quarter can handle it. So we ain't gonna go underestimating the job. If I'm gonna go to it, it's gonna be I'm gonna overdo it. I'm gonna send the jets in and the tanks, and then I'm gonna send the ground troop. But then I'm gonna take my 3/8 stubby, and I'm gonna take my usuals, and my bag is light, and I basically hold it out with my hand, with a finger. So my bag is light. I can walk, get my part, bring my bag back, put it in the truck. I always do that. I see a lot of people hide their bags in cars. You never know who's watching you at the junkyard. So what I do, I go and pull the part, take the part, sit in the inside of the vehicle. I take my bag back to my truck, lock my bag, got my tools secure. I go through them real quick to make sure, because I done lost some tools at the junkyard. But I go back through it, I make sure that I got everything. That part, if somebody steals it, I hadn't bought it yet. So if I done pulled that part and you got it out of there, fine, you take that part. That's theirs, not mine. And if I'm tired, I go to the house, and the next day I'll come back and pull it off another vehicle. But I'm not going to take a chance on hiding my tools at the junkyard. I done seen people do it countless of times. They hide them in the cars, they get the part, go and pay for it, come back. That's stupid. That part is not yours until you pay for it. Those tools, you brought them there. They are yours. Take your tools, put them back in your vehicle, lock your vehicle back, go back and get the tool, get the part. And if you find something else that you may want at the junkyard, hell, if you at the junkyard, you got time. Take that part to the car, go back, get your bag, go back. Don't risk leaving them tools out, thinking somebody gonna get your part that you took your time and pulled. I'd rather take a chance on that part than I would on my own tools. You're only gonna have to buy that part once if it's a part that you can, that's any good. You're only gonna have to buy it once. Which a lot of the junkyard, they will take that part back. They'll mark it, take it back. But that was just my point of these Tekton boxes. Like I said, I had them in a tool rail. I had them up here. Up here in my top box. I had them right here in this tool rail. Now, I got to thinking, I said, them boxes too nice. They're just way, way too nice to just be sitting. I had them up there. Up there in my attic. my throwaway, but not exactly away. But I had them up there, and I just said, man, I can do better than that. The quarter inch sockets are not that expensive. So the first thing I did, I took my quarter inch set away, and I put them back in the box. And I didn't like not having nothing in its space, so I took the liberty to going on eBay, and long and behold, I found a set of gear wrench that a seller had, that they had took it from one of them big sets, and they want to just get rid of the quarter inch. So, and then I tell you something else about this gear wrench that I stumbled across, didn't know it, but they got I don't know what you call it, a ledge or whatever, but it stopped that socket from going all the way down on a fastener that's got like, say for instance, if you need a deep well and it's got a long fastener, and you want to you can still use it as a deep well on the long fastener. But if you want to start that fastener, I do the little thing where I stick a rock in there, put the socket on, add a little piece of tape to the side, and then start it. Well, that was before my magnetic sockets, but these here had that. I don't know if you can call it a ledge, but I'm gonna call it a ledge. But they had that little stopping point, and that saves you when you're trying to start a fastener. And what ticked me off with gear wrench on these here, this is a standard socket, 9/16. We'll put it back. the metric got knurling on it, and that is good when you starting a fastener. That's good, and I just don't know why they didn't put it on the standard. I mean, you right there, you got it in the mill, you working on it, you can just run them on through there and be done with it. But anyway, that seller was unique about these that I like. That seller told me that it had doubles, so I was like, doubles, no extra charge. It had 2 of the 10 millimeters, which I ain't gonna take one. I'll take one. If it's a 10, yes, 10. So this a 10 and that's a 10. And the same down here, 2 10s. And then extra, I got swivel 10 millimeter and a 3/8 10 millimeter. One of those are 3/8 10 millimeter. So that I kind of looked out on that. That was a good deal. But we ain't talking about that. We talking about these Tekton boxes here. If we're gonna name this video Tekton review, then gosh darn it, we gotta do a Tekton review. But this was something that I was. These 2 sets right here is older than that box. Older than that box, and it's older than most of all the wrenches in here. They're older than anything here. They are older than any ratchet in there. They're older because that Tekton set was this quarter drive was the only quarter ratchet I had, and this ratchet here, I had a Cobalt, I had my Duralast and my Great Neck. So I had a few ratchets before that, but nothing to what I got now. But that's for another video. Yeah, but I thought maybe if y'all a DIYer like myself, I have a lot of people that I subscribe to their channels because I like to look at tool reviews, and it give me some ideas and my own tool review. So I like looking at tools, and I look at the big guys. I look at their setup, and I like their setup, and then I may see something in there that they're using that can help me. Like I said, there's a lot of tools out there. There's a lot of them I still don't know nothing about, and that I've been doing it the old-fashioned way, and I saw them do it, and they use a different wrench to help them to save time. I'm gonna go get that wrench to help me to save time, and you do the same, But my videos are for DIYers. I mean, I'm an industry fella, and I got a everyday mechanic job, so to speak, but I'm industrial, so my mechanics are a little bit different than just your day-to-day vehicle mechanic. Most things I worked on is in the wide open, and I'm taking panels off machines, replacing parts on machines, like working on a tractor, or so to speak. You wide open, and there ain't no obstructions, there ain't no engine firewall, there ain't no lifting it up, putting it up over your head on a car rack or nothing like that. The most of the stuff I work on is stationary. So when I tell you I don't use a pipe because I've had bad experience with a pipe, I got a helper, and he's not gonna buy tools to dictate the stuff that I like. And he may just say, "Hey man, I don't need these snap-ons. I don't need these Craftsman. I can go out to Home Depot and buy tools. I can go out to some lesser brand tool and be just as good, which it's possible. You can. I mean, like I said, if you know the strength and the weakness of your tool, that's why I tell people to be safe. if you got a brand that's working for you, stick with that brand. If you have to go outside that brand to get a specialty tool, I understand that. But if you got a brand, stick with it, because once you get the feel of it, the flexibility of it, and what you can do with it, that means a lot for safety. But a lot of time with pipes, if I'm up on a machine, I say, hey man, throw me that 1/2 inch. And I try to break, I can't break with the 1/2 inch. I say, hey, you got a cheater pipe? He throw me a cheater pipe. And I put that cheater pipe on his ratchet. His ratchet may be garbage. I don't know. And I'm up on a catwalk and I'm putting force toward that cheater pipe, and that fastener just all of a sudden break, or that ratchet just all of a sudden break. That cheater pipe is coming off that end. And like I said, no more than a bar of this caliper. I mean, and it's a good bar. I done seen reviews on this bar where people just put it up against the snap-ons. I can't tell you this bar is better than a snap-on or good as a snap-on. But I saw videos where they compared this bar to snap-on, and it did a pretty good job. I mean, you had to be just straight out abusing it. I haven't seen nobody break it. I haven't seen a video on that. Maybe y'all have, but I haven't seen a video on nobody breaking it. But for what this costs and the safety to you, and you can live to fight another day, man, get the right tool for the job every time. Even if you're a DIYer, and you look at me, I'm a DIYer. Look at this here. And I got another shed that got tools in. I got another, I got a work truck out there that I service the mill with, that I do work out of it, and it's tools in it. My main thing is get the tools. I got these nut drivers. Everybody knows these days nobody uses nut drivers anymore. But there's a certain situation that I've been in where I tried to use we got it right here. I got several of them, but nut drivers. I even got this old Great Neck with the 1/4 inch on the back, where you can add a ratchet or a pull bar. And I got this SK, couple of these SKs. Couple of them. And I mean, I paid like $1 for these at the pawn shop. And you put the socket on there, and you down off in a crevice. Say, we'll use this hole. You down off in something like this, and you using that nut driver. You tighten that bolt up, and that socket sticks to that. You pulls up. You lost your socket. You got to spend the rest of the day trying to get that socket to get back on here, come out. You got your deal here. You sticking it in there. You trying to get it out. You know, I'm gonna show y'all this right here. I got this from, I think, I want to say, might be an OEM tool. Yeah. It's coming out loose. Screw it back in tight. It's threaded though. Just came loose from rattling. I got this from, I want to say it's an OEM tool from AutoZone. Yeah. Man, this thing is bad. It had a light in there, sort of gimmicky, but I didn't buy it for the light. I bought it because it's got a magnet and it's pretty strong. You know, and it's got the fingers that comes out, and I bought it for the fingers. But I thought that was cool for it having the magnets and the it's just some bonus footage, y'all. I done ran out of stuff to say about Tekton. I mean, what can you say about a socket if it doesn't break? Yeah. So I'm just rambling now, just to make my video 30 minutes long. I got a couple of minutes, but I give y'all another little insight. You can go to the pawn shops or sales, and you can get some pretty good pliers for cheap. Basically the same thing you would pay for a cheap set of Tekton. I think I done seen this before, but it was a good idea to me. But you can get those good pliers in good shape, clean them up, and that's what I did. I mean, he's probably older than me, and I put him in my wheel, and that's another thing I'm gonna show you. If you clean up old tools, restorating old tools, you gotta have you one of these. It's that old school Craftsman. I love Craftsman. All the old Craftsman. The new Craftsman is, I wish I can move it, but the new, it just crap. It won't spit it out for me, but it's crap. But get you a wide wheel. Make sure you got your safety glasses on. One day I'm gonna change this out for a buffer. I just hadn't found one 6 inches. I think they got them in Harbor Freight, and I never think to look in there for it. But I'm gonna change that out for a buffer, and once I get through cleaning the tools, I can buff them, shine them up pretty good. Right now I got handy dandy, hyper tough rotary tool. I can't call it a driven one because it ain't driven. Rotary tool. But I guess that's it, y'all. Y'all like and subscribe to my channel, Shay T Mac, and I'm out.